As many of you know, I've come to Australia for a few months, and on my way here I made a layover in Abu Dhabi. That is because I flew with Etihad, and Etihad had the cheapest tickets at the time. So I decided to book an overnight flight from London to Abu Dhabi and spend a whole day in the city before flying again overnight to Brisbane. I had about an 8 to 10 hour layover, which gave me enough time to see the top sites of the city. And this is what this video is about. I'm going to tell you the 3 top things to see in Abu Dhabi if you have more than 6 hours to spend there. And we're starting with number 1, the most iconic thing Abu Dhabi has to offer, and that is the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, which is as incredible as it looks in the pictures. However, recently it has become super popular, so get there early. It opens at 9 o'clock. Try to beat the crowd because a lot of buses with tourists come in the morning. And make sure you're wearing appropriate dress wear because this is a religious site. So I was wearing what I'm wearing now, basically a t-shirt and shorts. And thankfully they had like a cloakroom that they offered pants and long shirts for you to wear. I did see other people wearing t-shirts, but I'm assuming I had to wear a long shirt because of tattoos. I'm not quite sure. Don't take my word on that. Either way, this place is a must visit and it's free, so nothing to lose. So as I mentioned, the mosque opens at 9 a.m. in the morning every day except for Friday, where it opens at 4:30 p.m. and it closes at 10 p.m. every day. So plenty of time for you to go in there and explore. I took an Uber from the airport, but from what I understand, they have free shuttle buses as well. I just hadn't done proper research and they come every hour. And because time was of the essence, I thought I might as well grab an Uber. Now, if you're carrying photography gear, it's fine. They let me use my gimbal in the mosque. I had my tripod with me, but I didn't really try to use it because I just didn't feel the need, but I'm pretty sure you can use a tripod as well. What they didn't let me take in was my iPad Pro's folio case, which has a keyboard on it, and if you have a laptop with you, they'll ask you to store it with the cloakroom. But the fact that they let me use a gimbal is great because a lot of places don't really let you use professional looking equipment. I would recommend having a really wide lens if you do want to get those majestic shots of the entire mosque. And if you have more time and more patience than I do use a tripod and an ND filter to try and clear out the crowds, because you will have a lot of people in your shots otherwise. So if you do a long exposure, you might try to mitigate that with a bit of movement. It used to be that this place was open and you could roam everywhere, but right now, because it's so busy, they have made clear paths that you have to follow and go through, but you don't really have a time limit. You can spend as much time as you want in there, and there's certainly a lot of pictures to be taken and video to be captured in there if you want to. Make sure you're respectful while you're there, as it is, like I said, a religious site. And if security approaches you for any reason and you're using a tripod or whatever, be respectful and just obey the rules in general. Number 2 on my list is observation deck at 300, which is a viewpoint at the Etihad Towers on the 74th floor, and it's basically a view of the entire city, and it only costs 95 dirham, which is about 20 quid, and with that you can use the 55 dirham to order a drink or food up there. So it ends up only costing 40 dirham for a lovely view of the city. Now, when I was there, it was afternoon, but I would definitely recommend you guys visit this place at sunset, as the views would be much more spectacular with the golden light. And you should also be hoping that there's no storm in the prior days that you visit, because there was a storm on the week before I visited and the windows were not very clean, which is unfortunate, but I still managed to get some nice photos that I liked, and it's still a cool experience nonetheless. Before I go to my third pick, there is a bonus pick. If you have enough time, you can also visit the Emirates Palace, which is just across the street from the Etihad Towers. It's a high-end hotel which has a really cool look-up view of their foyer. Is that a foyer? I don't know what it's called. Like a grand hall with balconies all around. Again, it's free to enter as it's just a hotel, however you need to be wearing long trousers to enter. And basically if you just want to see how the rich spend their time in Abu Dhabi, go to the palace. This brings me to my third and final pick for your layover, and that is the Abu Dhabi Louvre, and it's an amazing museum. Again, because I felt time was of the essence, I Ubered everywhere. I Ubered there as well, and I got there with a couple of hours to spare before it closed. The museum closes at 8 p.m. most of the days, except for Monday when it's completely closed, and Thursday and Friday it closes at 10 p.m. So make sure you get there with enough time to spare if you want to see all the exhibitions and if you want to see all the rooms. Entrance fee for an adult is 63 dirham, which is about 13 quid, which gives you access to all the exhibitions and all the rooms, which is a great price for what you see. Now the museum has some beautifully curated pieces from all around the world, and the exhibitions change all the time. If you like art, if you like history, you will love it. But if you like architecture like I do especially, you would love the building because it's a really unique structure designed by a world famous architect, Jean Nouvel. And even though you don't feel the design while you're walking through the rooms, because obviously they're all square to house the exhibitions, there is a beautiful courtyard in the middle where you come out of the building and you have this whole entire dome, like bird's nest dome above you, which is it's quite a sight. So if you're a photographer like I am and you want to find that one iconic shot that represents Abu Dhabi, I think this is the one. It's across the street from the Grand Mosque, and there is a fountain where you can get a perfect reflection of the mosque, perfectly symmetrical. I will drop the location pin in the description down below for you guys to actually check it out. Even though it's private property, the security didn't have a problem with us using tripods and staying there as long as we wanted to take the shot. So that is the last thing that I did on my trip. If you are on a layover there and you have less hours, then you can choose one of these things to do. I would recommend the mosque or the Louvre if you like history and art. One final tip that I'll leave you with is that Etihad has a layover program where they will pay for your second night's accommodation. So all you have to do is pay for the first night and they will pay for the second night. And that is a pretty cool thing for them to do if you guys want to experience more of Abu Dhabi, like the outskirts, the desert, the nature, anything else. It's a pretty cool program. Obviously they're not sponsoring anything in this video, it's just something that I found out that I think you might find interesting. So let me know if I forgot anything, if you have any other suggestions about Abu Dhabi. I know there was the Formula One world as well, but I'm not really a big fan of Formula, so I didn't really care to visit that. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, consider giving me a like and subscribing and turning on the bell and all of that stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.